Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming today to our webinar, our 30-minute tip of the month. And today we're going to be talking about videos in the classroom, incorporating videos into classroom teaching. Using videos in the classroom means more than just pressing play, right? It's about using visual media to help students understand and stay interested. In today's session, we'll look at simple ways to add video content to your live classes, to your teaching, to enhance student engagement and learning. But first, to ensure a smooth and productive webinar experience for everyone, please make sure to follow these guidelines. Please keep your microphone muted throughout the webinar. This will help maintain an organized and distraction-free environment. If you have any questions, use a chat box. I'll make sure that I address as many as possible during this 30-minute webinar. The webinar will be recorded for future reference and for those who could not attend today's session. And as I normally do every month, I will share with you slides, the recording, and a handout that I prepared today for you in the PDG Go newsletter. What is it that we're going to be doing today? We're going to talk about videos. Why using videos as teaching tools in your class? We are going to discuss how we can effectively actually incorporate those videos in our live sessions. Keep in mind that we're going to be discussing, you only have 30 minutes. So we're going to concentrate our discussion on videos using during live sessions, during classes where you have your students face-to-face. We are going to discuss the top 8 tips and tricks for using videos, and I'm going to give you a few examples, super simple examples that they're not time-consuming for pre, while, and post video tasks. And since I cannot see the videos, your cameras, please make sure that you use a chat box or raise your hand if you have any questions. So before getting started, I am going to share a whiteboard, a Zoom whiteboard. That's one of the beautiful, super useful collaboration tools that we have for on Zoom. So whenever you're teaching online, there are lots of templates that you can use, and we are going to be using one today that is called No Wonder Unlearn. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to open my whiteboard. We're going to be discussing a little bit about your experience using videos. I know that most of you, we have visited hundreds of classrooms at the professional development department. And we know that most of you use videos in your classrooms to either aid certain content that you want to cover or just make your classes a little bit more interactive. So using the chat box while my whiteboard opens, I can see that we're having trouble. Okay, let me see. I don't know what's going on. I wanted to use the chat box. Let's do plan B then. We don't have time to wait for the whiteboard to open. While the whiteboard opens, if it does, use the chat box and tell me one thing, one advice. Imagine that you have a friend who's becoming an instructor, university professor. So what advice would you give them when it comes to using videos? One tip, one trick, the benefits. Give me just one thought. What is it that you, when you use the video, what is the benefit that you see in using videos during your classes? And use a chat box for this, please. Okay. The goal, okay, absolutely. You need to have a goal. I love that. If you use a video in your class, it's because there's a reason to it. It adds up to the conversation. Dr. Shuo says they make things interesting. Absolutely. Too bad that we cannot open the whiteboard because, first of all, it's super useful. It worked really well this time of in the morning. But in the meantime, okay, the purpose, okay, here it is. Beautiful. So you have a minute. You have a minute to grab a sticky note and add in the first and the second column one benefit of using videos in the classroom, or one tip you want to give a teacher. Just click and you can write right here. And I want you to also use the second one. What I wonder, do you have a question concerning using videos in the classroom? Write that down on the board. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Oh boy, there you are. Super easy. Get to the sticky note, click, and then you can totally write right there. Again, on the first column, I'm going to open the class. You have 1 minute. See everything you can use on Zoom. There you go. Go, a minute. One benefit of using videos in the classroom. One tip for new instructors. And then go ahead and the second column, please leave the third column empty. We're going to work on that one a little bit later today. Here. Okay, they're an excellent tool. Absolutely agree. Excellent tool if used correctly. Students answer questions. Wonderful. This is something that we're going to be talking about very soon. 10 seconds. See everyone jumping around, but let's see people writing. Okay, there you are. Time's up. Okay, let's see. There are absolutely an excellent tool, and you can actually use questions, critical thinking questions, to make sure that what you offer in the video goes beyond those maximum 5 minutes that you can play a video in your class. So thank you so much. Keep on adding to the board as much as you want, but in the meantime, I'm going to go back and continue sharing my screen. We can continue this conversation. So, sorry about that. So, okay, what we're going to be doing now, think about the benefits of using videos that you added to the table, or you thought about it, but didn't have much time to add to the table. Think about those tips that you have heard, that you have actually used in your class when using videos. And let's watch a video about enhancing the learning experience with them. Now, videos as teaching tools. Keep in mind that it has to do with live sessions. So we're going to watch the video right now, and then you're going to go back to discussing what this is all about. Okay, so this is a very short video on the benefits, and you could see there that it fosters critical thinking, but there is way more than just, as I said at the beginning, just press the play button. You have to be able to select the right content, the right video that meets the learning outcomes of your class, of your course. So let's continue discussing why using videos in teaching. And while I share that, use the chat box to tell me, why do you use videos in teaching? I'm going to give you a few reasons why I do that. They amplify learning. Students best learn when information is provided in different modalities. The curriculum champions at the Light Center are doing an I mean, they are doing an amazing job and at enriching the syllabus, the syllabi for the other courses that they're working on. And they're making sure that we add videos for this purpose, but we are adding videos to use a flipped classroom approach. So we're adding videos for students to watch before coming to class. What we're going to be talking today is using videos in the class. So it amplifies learning. Students learn best when information is provided in different ways and different modalities. They're super engaging. YouTube is everywhere. And one thing that I love by using videos in my class is that I can actually bring in real world examples. I can actually bring different voices and perspectives to my courses. Videos help instructors, if used correctly, build up prior knowledge. And of course, they're really, really, really good at aiding you to at introducing new topic. If there's anything new that you want to add to your class, a very short video is the perfect way to do this. Now, there are a few tips and tricks that I wanted to share with you. And again, we only have 30 minutes, so I had to really concentrate on just a few. But if you have more, again, use the chat box. I'm going to try to check it as much as possible. But one of the first tips that I wanted to share with you is that you have to be selective and keep it short. There's so much out there. There's so much that doesn't really meet the purpose of your class. It sounds engaging, but the content is not there. So be selective and keep it short. No need to use the entire video. Let's say that you found a really nice video, but it's 20 minutes. You can totally edit it and just use some excerpts to discuss in the class. Actually, research says that the maximum amount of time that you can play a video and actually engage students is 5 minutes. Also provide a purpose for watching, something that some of you said at the beginning. Give students a goal, a reason why watching the video. So provide a purpose for watching is like setting a goal for what students are about to watch, and that will keep them accountable and attentive. Also, pausing and repeating, it's fine. You can actually, if you need to stop the video to draw students' attention to a specific part of the video, please do so. Pausing will provide students with time to reflect when needed, and also will give them some time to take notes if that's what they have to do. Also, if think about working with students with so many home languages where English is not their first language, myself included, sometimes it's worth playing the video more than once, maybe twice. If you can use captions, that's wonderful. Particularly, it's really effective if teaching students whose first language is not English. Also, allow individual screens. There is no need for simultaneous video beam from one screen. So you can do that. You can play it on your screen, and if it works, it does work. But if you want to give students certain time, if you have students with mixed abilities and you feel like some are really faster than others, just give them a set of time. Like, okay, you have 5 minutes to watch this video, and they can watch it on their cell phones or their computers. They can pause if they want. They can rewind if they want. So they can actually watch it at their own pace. We use the flipped classroom approach, remember, or the model. So this means that the students may engage with the video material at home. Okay, so we also use at Westcliff videos as preparation for the live classes. So you can also, if you see a video that is really interesting, but it's too long, maybe you can send it before they come to class instead of using it in the live session. And it's excellent at activating background knowledge. The last tip that I want to give you, and then I'll go to the chat to see if there are comments, is you need to integrate learning tasks and activities before, during, and after watching. So if you have a video that you want to play in your class, think about how do you want to introduce the topic of the video. Play something, do an infographic, just ask questions maybe. I will give you a few ideas that are super easy. I'm very sure that you're using them already. But do something video so they are excited about watching the video. Give them a purpose. Say, hey, this is what we're going to do while watching the video. You give them a wild task. And then after the video is over, then you have time to move on to a post or after watching the video in which they will be able to reflect or do certain activities that I can give you some ideas in a sec. I see some comments in the chat. Dr. Spessart says they help tell a story and aid in introducing and reinforcing concepts and ideas. Absolutely. Videos are so important, but again, if used correctly. So I'm going to give you a few ideas on pre, while, and post-watching tasks. Let's start with pre-watching tasks. While I go through the ideas, I wanted to use a chat box and tell me, what do you do when you have a video, when you find something really nice that you're like, yes, this is going to really enrich the learning experience of my students? What do you do prior playing or pressing the play button in your video? In the meantime, I'm going to give you some ideas that I have used. You can actually give students some previewing questions for the topic of the video, so students discuss and prompt their background knowledge. And these initial questions can be revisited. They have them at hand. They can have a look at them afterwards to see if after they watch the video, their ideas change. It's actually a really, really good strategy. And let me see, I have a list here of links that I wanted to share with you. So give me a sec, because I'm working with different screens today. Let me see what's in the chat as well. Okay, I see right here. Okay. In the chat, they say ask questions about the main concepts. Absolutely, James. Thank you. Ask them to predict what they will say during the video. Wonderful. Identify the main questions and answer ideas before and after. Exactly, that's this idea. You give them previewing questions, you discuss them, they answer. You can have a whole group discussion. You can go to breakout rooms. You watch the video together, and then you come back with the same questions to see if their views changed. You can actually have like a list of who, what, when, where, and why questions, depending if it's a very topical video. And then you can you put it on the whiteboard, on your board, on your screen, and students have to complete with questions they wish to have answered from the video. So the video is short. You put different columns, and then if they have any questions concerning who, what, when, where, and why, they place it right there, and then you have a wonderful source of data to discuss in the class. The second one will be protection, exactly what James was talking about. You can totally play pause in certain part of the videos and ask students, what do you think will happen next? What do you think should happen? So you kind of play with the content of the video and enhance cooperation and discussion, critical discussion in the class. You can also think ahead. So you ask students to come up with a list of words, images, concepts, issues that they anticipate they might see in the video provided. I once observed a class that was actually really fun, in which the professor asked the opposite, like, give me a list of 10 words, concepts that you see that you won't find in this video. So, and it was a really interesting conversation, and it was really fun. Professor Krause says I give the students 3 to 5 questions before watching and then ask volunteers to answer them after. I think most of us do that the idea of asking them to pre-answer and then ask after watching the video, that's something I will try soon. Oh, beautiful, lovely, that's the idea. These are very simple ideas, and sometimes you actually do them without even noticing, but it's sometimes worth having this refresher. So what about while watching tasks? So you have your video, you do something, it doesn't need to be that long, that complicated, that elaborated, because I know we're busy. And sometimes one of the biggest issues is like, this is time consuming. Well, it doesn't need to be. Then you play the video, but the students have a goal. You tell them, okay, we are going to complete an activity while watching the video. And I'm going to give you a few ideas for that. Questions. Guided questions. So maybe give students a set of questions to check for in-depth understanding. And it can be multiple choice, short notes, true and false. And actually you can create a Kahoot, you can create a Mentimeter, or you can create a Zoom poll, a Zoom survey. It's for free for us. And I'm gonna give you, give me a sec, because I want to share with you a resource that we have on Spoke, and it's really, really, really good. There you go. It's a course on developing critical thinking skills in your students. Let me add this to the chat. In that course, it takes around an hour to complete. There is a section on how to ask the right questions using the Socratic method, using critical thinking as the goal for those questions. So it can help you think about how to address those type of conversations guided by questions that I'm suggesting today. As I said before, in the while watching stage, you can also pause and reflect. Say that there's an important bit of the video that's the most important part that you want to discuss. Pause the video. And at that moment, say, okay, we're going to stop right now. We're going to discuss and reflect on this bit of the video. And for that, I have also another resource that I want to share with you. A sec. Well, I'll share it afterwards because I cannot find the link right now. But there are other resources that have to do with also how to create discussion and reflection during live sessions on Acorn. Then we have a note taking. Okay, so one of the skills that we need to teach our students is how to take proper notes. So you can have students take notes on the key points presented in the video, and they can, after they take the notes, you can take them or you can divide them in breakout rooms and they discuss their notes, or they can reflect on the application of the video and their notes to their work field. And for that, we also have a video on, a course on Acorn, and it's teaching essential note-taking skills. So it's a self-paced course. It takes also around 1 hour. But what's interesting about this specific course is that it has lots of templates. So as you complete the course, you will see that you can download note-taking templates that you can tailor to your class. Okay, any other ideas that you want to share with the Westcliff University instructors, with us? If you have any other ideas on what you do as a task while watching the video, please use the chat box and share with all of us. Now let's discuss the post-watching tasks and activity. Well, there are quite a few here. You can have students summarize the video using their own words and ideas. You can actually use think, care, share. They take notes. They take their notes about that they took. They think about them. They rewrite them. They add more. Can please someone mute? Remember, keep yourself muted. Thank you. So you can have, as I said, you can use think, care, share. They have their notes. You give them some times for them to reflect, to think about their notes, to add more. Then you pair them up, you open breakout rooms, they discuss their notes, and then they come back to the main room after 20 minutes, it doesn't need to be that long, and they share their discussions and their takeaways. And of course, more questions. Especially if the video presents something very topical. It's a topical video. You should give students enough time to respond to the questions provided by you, but you can also ask them to bring their own questions. You don't need to be the one providing everything all the time, right? They can also discover, they can also be part of the process. You can also ask them to bring their own questions and then discuss them in breakout rooms. Dr. Newby says, I usually develop a case study and then we review quickly. Then the students go to breakout rooms, are divided into groups, and then they return to share. Beautiful. I love this. I love this. Great idea. You can also let students choose. Give students time in class to search the internet, say they have a video, they have an activity, but then you say, okay, I'm going to give you 10 minutes to surf the website, the net. Go and find internet news or other videos related to this topic that we are covering, websites, whatever. Then you get into breakout rooms and discuss what you found. This can be done individually or in groups, okay? And the good thing about this is that it's not only the video bringing real examples to the class, but also students doing so. Dr. Xu, I'm gonna mute your, I'm gonna mute you because we're getting background noise. Okay. Then the last idea that I wanted to share with you is application projects. And it actually has to do with what one of you just mentioned. Having projects in which they can actually apply what they watch on the video to real world scenarios, to case studies. So that's also another idea. So any other ideas for post-watching tasks or activities? Let me check the chat. Ask them to create a short presentation. I love that. Or a creative project like a poster, skit. Yeah, digital presentation to explain their learning. I agree. This activity encourages collaboration. It's a deliverable that you're going to have at the end. Okay, wonderful. Love this. Love, love, love. And remember that at Bosco, if you use Google Workspace, so they have access to Google Slides, and which you can actually be part of as well and provide immediate feedback. I love this idea. Have students share their ideas with one another? Absolutely, absolutely. That is the goal of our 3-hour live sessions. Some of you have work over the weekends, a week, and different modalities. No matter the modality that you teach, when you meet your students either online or face-to-face on campus, it doesn't matter. It's the moment to get together and discuss, reflect, and go further. And clarify doubts if you like, but also it's a moment to engage in really deep academic and conversations. So now I'm going to go try again, and I'm going to stop sharing. Any questions for now? I only have 2 minutes, but I want to do a couple of things. So first of all, I am going to add a few links, and I will explain a little bit later.